Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Chrissy Small, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. The Art of Mask, Dogs Day outing, ongoing Trafalgar budget blowouts, and more. Dog owners united at Anzac Park on Wednesday afternoon this week with their dogs in tow for a common purpose. I went down there to check out the gathering and spoke with the organiser of the event, Cynthia McConville, before they all set off to walk to the streets of Nelson en masse.
I've organised the Bullbreed Walk because I want Nelson people to see how family friendly these dogs are.
Hi, and who have we got here?
Here you've got Warfare Optimus Prime, New Zealand champion, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and otherwise known in our house as the Love Sponge.
Oh, look, she's gorgeous. How old is she?
She'll be 8 years old next month.
Oh, she's just a little one.
Yes.
Oh, she's tiny. And so, what do you think about the suggestion to ban these dogs?
Well,
do you think it's the dogs or the owners that have the issue?
I think we can tell by the history of dog attacks that have taken place that focusing on a breed is a mistake. What we need to do is focus on the owners, and I think we need to look at councils encouraging people to train their dogs, particularly in the 5 basic commands, and we need to look to government to bring in new legislation.
For a whole pack of different dogs being hit together for the first time, they seem to be getting on rather well.
Well, they do get on well. If dogs are well socialised, they will get on well. And if you confine dogs to chains and you don't allow them to have exercise and play, that's what creates the animal-human bond, is exercise and play. And so if you've got dogs of this breed being misused, tied up and misused, then you will have problems.
Well, dogs are quite bright, and you can see on YouTube, when dogs are bored, they get into mischief. How many couches do we see ripped apart, toilet paper shredded. I mean, the sorts of things you see. You just know that those dogs are saying, hey,
take some notice
look
of
at me.
Please. Yes.
Breeds that are happening at the moment that are on TV aren't as nasty as what you think they are.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But most of these are staffies. I don't think staffies are a real problem, are they?
Yeah,
They can.
Was it a staffy?
Yeah.
Do you think
The
it's
pregnant one, yeah.
Oh, do you think it's the dogs or do you think it's the owners that are the problem?
Owners.
You think it's the
definitely.
owners?
It's the owners, because my dog at the moment is classed as one of the dangerous breeds that they're talking about on the news, yet she's not got a bad bone in her body.
Yeah, she
and
is.
I've socialised her from an early age. She's just gorgeous. She's not even worried about what the situation is. She's good with dogs, she's good with people, she's great with kids.
She's very crazy, isn't she?
Yep, very. Stella, really friendly.
What's her name?
Stella.
Stella. Hello, Stella. Oh,
But I think it's more like the way the dog looks
yeah,
that people are scared of.
right.
So some of the staffies can look a bit dodgy.
Yeah. This is who?
Chloe.
Chloe. Hello, Chloe. Now, Chloe's got a face only a mother could love. You've got Chloe there, and who's this one?
Oh, this is Matilda.
Hello, Matilda. Oh, she's great. Is she related?
She's not, no, but Chloe is Pearl's auntie and Tilly is Pearl's grandmother.
Oh, gosh. So it's a real family outing today.
It is, yes.
Yeah, great. Tanya Omar asked people in Nelson this week about their views of safety around dogs.
What are your thoughts on people walking their dogs?
I'm not a dog lover, but my brother and sister-in-law have got a dog on both sides, through my husband as well. We've been out walking the dogs with them, and they are on a leash. I am really concerned, as are most New Zealanders, about the pit bull terriers and the other dogs that we know attack, and they might be a family pet, but we've already seen how vicious the attacks are, and it doesn't matter whether it's children or adults, they're really vicious attacks, and they should be stopped from coming into the country, or people owning them, yeah.
They should be on leashes all the time and make sure that they pick up their and have a bag with them all the time.
It depends where it is. My only thing is that people should be looking out for the dogs around small children, because of course I've got two, and I find sometimes the issue. They think they know their dog, but the kids don't. So that's my main thing, really. Even if you know your dog, be careful of small children. They don't know what's around there. So yeah.
The Tasman District Council will conduct its annual telephone survey from Friday the 6th of May to find out how Tasman residents think their council is performing. This survey will help council track its performance and hear the views of their communities on what Tasman District Council do well and where improvements can be made. One way this can be done is through an independent and impartial interview with the representative cost section of Tasman people. The results of the survey will be made public and will form part of the Council's formal reporting. TDC hope that those who are contacted to participate in the survey take the opportunity to let them know how they think they are doing. The survey is totally confidential. Nelson City Council has approved a further $420,000 to be paid to consultants working on the Trafalgar Centre upgrade. This is on top of the recently announced sum of $350,000 for a re-roof. So what does this all mean for ratepayers? Graham O'Brien spoke with Kerry Neal, who has been following the Trafalgar Centre scenario since Council's lawyer deemed, after consultation with experts, that it posed an earthquake danger.
Kerry, when we thought it was all over, we thought we'd paid all the bills, we had all the plans done, seems that another $420,000 needs to be spent on the Trafalgar Centre. Can you tell us a bit about where this came from?
Yeah. Well, the official line is they did not appreciate certain things that they have discovered. To me, as a builder or a carpenter, any carpenter could clearly see what was needed. The building in the main had its walls exposed, so there's no argument, there's no excuse for not seeing what was there. The prime reason is, as I understand it, that they did not appreciate that the design had been altered in the first instance in 1972. I've got the amended plan at home, which they obviously haven't seen, and they're claiming that because when they took the cladding off, that it was different to what they envisaged, is due to them not understanding that the revised plan is in the file. Now, where did this, it's a dreadful, disgraceful run of play when you think about it. Initially, the consultants and the legal people got $320,000 back in 2014, $45,000 for a special meeting to discover that they might have been a bit wrong. End of 2014, $450,000 for consultants. Middle of 2015, $650,000, and now another $420,000. Add that up. Do the maths. And the excuse is that, well, we didn't quite appreciate what the building was like.
And once again, going back, this started from the piles up, didn't it?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, the piles. Everybody knows about that, but it's there's so many other factors that have not been addressed. And they're now making mistakes. For instance, the issue over the manager's office in the new northern end. I mean, they discovered after sitting around for months, councillors and all, who claimed they couldn't get involved because they had to listen to experts. They made the decision to do the northern end as they were about to do, and then discovered, thanks to Tim Skinner again, that they'd forgotten the manager's office. So now they've had to bite into the main stadium and take precious square meterage out of that to accommodate the manager.
And they also done something for a corridor.
Yes, okay. Well, there was a beautiful corridor on the western side, Soji type screen, similar to this, very substantial, right along the western side. They took that all off and then discovered they had to remove all the concrete base to get at the foundation that they claim required attention. Now that's another issue, but I think everybody knows the opinions on that, but never mind, they are engineers. But of course now they're saying they need this extra money to rebuild the western side and extend it to Lincoln, which is not silly actually, with the new northern end.
Yep.
But you'd have thought that that would have been obvious way back.
In the plans, that's what the consultants
So
have
here they've come for another 170,000, I think it is, to extend this corridor after they'd reached the ceiling of the budget. Now, of course, then there's the roof. That a year ago was in the figures. They whipped it out.
Yep.
Spent to the limit of the budget. Now they've come back for another 250 plus the around about 350,000 total additional. So there was a 850,000 request the other day, and it was just granted like that. But the 420 is the one that really people need to get very upset about. To think that these people with all these hotshot qualifications didn't recognise certain things that were very obvious.
Nelson's Community Service Reporting Centre, which was located to Richmond in September last year in an attempt to centralise community work, could be causing legal issues for some of those clients unable to make it to Richmond. Corrections say the move was due to a decreasing number of offenders being issued with community work sentences. Ethan Williams spoke to Corrections Regional Manager for Nelson, West Coast Marlborough, Polly Callaghan, to talk about the effects of the change.
So, Polly, the Corrections have made the move to move the community services reporting to Richmond from Nelson. Could you explain the reason behind this move?
Yeah, we decided to centralise community work based at Richmond for a number of reasons. Richmond's quite centrally located for our Nelson Richmond monetary operations. And we were anticipating a refurbishment at the Hardy Street site in Nelson. And so although there's been a delay in that, we are anticipating that will happen in the next few months. So we had been planning for that for the end of last year. So we thought it was a good opportunity to centralise operations from one office, and geographically it's a useful location in that it's central. So the long-term plan was always to have a work project that's based at Hardy Street that people could report to, probably be 2 days a week.
Right.
Just about at that point now.
So what sort of numbers are we looking at in regards to people that are receiving convictions for non-attendance, and has it been much of an increase since before the move?
I don't have those figures to hand, but it's really not that common at all. I'm not aware of any that have been breached because they couldn't transport themselves. Because we've said to offenders, if they are having difficulty, they should talk to us. And what we've been doing is offering them placements within, if people do have the difficulty, then we'd be offering them a placement with an agency, looking at trying to strategise as to how they can get family members or support to get themselves there, get a bike, offer them the bus timetable. I mean, for us, we've been, it's about people meeting the responsibilities.
Because there was a van that was, I understand, that was being run from the Hardy Street office, or from Hardy Street, up until December. What was the reason for cancelling that?
So we had pick-up points. It wasn't from Hardy Street, but we had a couple of central location pick-up points at Anzac Ave and another location in Nelson. And we found that it was quite a big resource to sort of have a van parked there each day and have people attend and then drive them out to Richmond to do the muster and then off to do their projects. And it wasn't as well utilised as we had anticipated. So we decided that it would be, and I mean the other thing is that we really wanted people to be meeting their responsibilities and getting themselves to community work. So it's about modelling an appropriate, appropriate way of handling your responsibilities, really. So we found we were spending a lot of time waiting or picking up people to drive them out to Richmond. So yeah, we said we were going to stop that service and then encourage people to find other ways to get themselves to Richmond, knowing that we would have the opportunity to have a work placement based at Hardy Street.
Right.
So we knew that was coming, but it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 months maybe where we didn't have the pickups, but we would be offering people the opportunity, particularly over the winter months, of having a reporter based at Hardy Street.
Ethan caught up with a couple of legal experts in Nelson this week about the issues around this change.
So Rob, the corrections have moved their community service reporting centre to Richmond. What are the problems that you've perhaps seen faced around this?
Well, as I said, ideally for people with legal issues, particularly criminal legal issues, the issue of community work is what really came out as a surprise to, I think, most of the actors in the local criminal justice system. Obviously not to corrections, but possibly to others. The my clients, either before or after sentencing, might have been doing community work, and not just inconvenience, because remember, most of my clients are legal aid clients and they don't make a lot of money. So having to get there, as opposed to driving, for example, is going to cost a bit more, but really it's the inconvenience if you cannot drive. You'll be aware that a lot of the people who are sentenced are for driving matters. One of the common sentences for driving matters is loss of license. You can lose your license for up to and over a year, depending on the charge, or the sentence. But as far as I'm concerned, the issue is if you can't drive, then you have to take the bus. The bus system could have, had there been consultation, particularly with counsel and lawyers, I suspect, had there been consultation, the corrections could have actually dealt to this quite gently. I think it came as a shock to us, and I think the main reason it was a shock was the lack of consultation. Now, I stand to be corrected by that. If Corrections has put out in a Ministry of Justice pamphlet that all these changes were going to occur, I'm fairly busy with my own work, and I might not have seen that. But nevertheless, it would have been useful for the courts to have had that discussion, and possibly for the councils to have had that discussion too.
So Polly, forgot her name already. Polly Callahan, the District Manager of Corrections, has mentioned this morning that they are planning on opening up a centre at Albion Square, which, as we've just discovered, is right back where it was originally. What's your perspective on that?
I think Corrections is being quite realistic. You know, it's easy to come back on an organisation and say, well, you're eating humble pie. That's not the case. In my respectful opinion, I think that they've heard what's going on. There have been rumblings, and they've simply said, this is a reasonable solution. I think they're doing exactly the right thing. If those that have difficulty with transport, for the reasons I've given, other reasons, can make it into the local one, that's really good. I think that's important.
This week, police have begun streamlining the process for the way infringement notices are being issued for driving at the roadside. Instead of handing out paper infringement notices at the roadside, officers will now be able to issue infringements electronically through their mobile devices. These will be sent directly to the person's postal address. National Road Policing Manager Superintendent Steve Greeley said that officers can now scan the person's details on their mobile phone, and through the new on-duty phone application that has been developed, they will be able to automatically record the offence into the system, reducing the amount of paperwork for staff. Recipients should expect to receive a copy within 7 days following the date of issue through the mail. The process for querying a notice is unchanged. Previously, infringements were mailed out only after when the officer was not able to provide a paper copy at the time. Nelson Arts Council this week facilitated a masked performance workshop with Jacob Rajan from the famous Indian Ink Theatre Company, who are bringing their new show The Elephant Thief to Nelson's Theatre Royal next month. Jacob is a leading international masked performer who studied under the late John Bolton. I went to the Nelson Public Elmer Turner Library to catch up with the theatre practitioner this week.
Indian Ink would like to kind of spread the word, spread the love about what we do. And it's very specific to our company. We were founded on a love of mask, and we use mask in all our productions. That's 7 shows to date, and we'll be bringing a brand new show here in a few weeks, The Elephant Thief. And I thought I'd run a workshop here on masks to kind of foster some appreciation. Nelson's no stranger to masks, of course, and has a profound history of mask within this town. A lot of artists that use mask in street theatre, and the wonderful Kim Mary, who's made masks for us, came from Nelson. And I wanted to give something back.
Okay, and so look, tell us a little bit about the play. You mentioned the show that you're going to be bringing here. Tell us a little bit about what that is and what audiences can expect.
Well, the Elephant Thief is they can expect what they love about Indian Ink, which is the belly laughs, the crazy worlds that we create, and the really rich characters, and but the twist in The Elephant Thief is that it's set in the future. And it's India in the future, where India is the most powerful nation on earth. And funnily, as we started, we take about 2 years to put a show together. And the future that we envisaged back then is actually coming to pass. And it often happens in writing where you tune yourself to what's going on, but suddenly sort of stuff starts happening that you never dreamed, because it was all from your imagination, but these things start to actually scarily come to pass. So this is a world of grotesques, where the grotesques are running the world, and you only have to look to America to see the kind of scariness that is happening over there. And this sort of thing is really prescient. And we are dealing with some darker themes, but we always use comedy to kind of slip the serious stuff in.
Yeah. Sure, and of course, grotesque. We've got the masks here. Yeah. Can you show us a few of these masks and tell us a little bit about the kind of things you'll be exploring with the workshop?
Yeah, well, these masks, some of the people here in Nelson will be familiar with these masks from the last show we brought here called Kiss the Fish. And these are Balinese masks. These aren't the masks we're going to be using in The Elephant Thief, but I guess the workshop that I'm doing today is exploring acting at the level of mask, which is my preference for theatre that is larger than life. You know, the theatre of reality, the reality of us gives you a truth that is with a small t. You know, so that's best done on television and film. But theatre does truth with a capital T, a poetic truth. And that's the kind of thing that I want to see. I want a theatre that acknowledges the audience, a theatre that is larger than life, and shows characters that can be in extremes. And masks live in the extreme. They don't do domestic. They do crazy, and they do profoundly sad or ridiculously stupid, and that's the kind of theatre that I relish. So these masks from the Balinese tradition, beautiful. You know, if you think this was once a block of wood, and over a period of a week, with 5 blows of an axe, these highly skilled carvers get the shape of the face, and then with implements a little bit more sophisticated than a Stanley knife, they carve these amazing characters. And so we've taken, in Kiss the Fish, we took characters from the stock Balinese tradition, but used our own narrative. So brought it to life for a contemporary audience. But the mask in The Elephant Thief, we've got 5 actors playing multitude of characters, but the mask has been reduced to a set of teeth. So they all have different sets of teeth for different characters. And if you don't think this is a mask, My definition of a mask is anything inanimate that transforms the performer. And so if I put these on,
hello, nice to meet you again. I find this mask thing very perplexing. It absolutely takes over and changes you utterly. I think, yes. It's very nice. I like this. This is very nice. Oh, look.
It's not an ice cream.
Ah, yes, I like this very much.
Indian Ink Theatre Company is coming to Nelson next month. Tell us the dates, where and what time.
Right, well, we're only here for 2 performances. We sold out last time over 3 performances. So it's the 11th and 12th of May. The tickets are selling incredibly well, so you really need to get in there quick. We're at the Theatre Royal, and it's just such a beautiful venue for, it's one of the oldest theatres in New Zealand, and it's just a beautiful acoustic space to experience live theatre.
After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
There's an open studio invitation to view Between Nature and Nothing with paintings by artist Michael Dell on Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of April from 10:30 till 3 p.m. All are welcome. The studio sits above Nelson City Farmers, so call the gallery for directions on 0210 447 441. On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.